last video you learned the first part of the story, a little more than 50% we have already learned the story. We will learn the remaining story in this video. In the last video, okay, I ended when the thief or Hari Singh lost the chance of getting into any carriage of the Lucknow Express. Now he did not want to go away. The train had already gone. He was standing alone on the deserted platform. Deserted? There was nobody. It was deserted. Now he had not any idea where to spend the night. He had no friends. And why did he not have any friends? He has given the reason. He believed that friends are more trouble than help. According to Hari Singh, friends are more trouble than help. That is why he had not made any friends. Now he did not want to leave any hotels near the station, and his reason was he thought that this would make people curious, and that is why he did not want to live in any hotel near the station. Now there was only one person he could go to, and that was Anil. He knew that he had robbed the same person and he wanted to go to the same person. So he left the station and started walking slowly through the bazaar. Now here Hari Singh mentions one thing. See, this is an example of how observation can teach us some things in any line of profession. Here, in his line of thieving or stealing or robbing, he has made an observation. On page number 10, okay, he has given his observation. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. He had studied the faces of people when they lost their goods. The first observation is the greedy man showed fear. When a greedy man is robbed, when he loses his goods, he shows fear. The rich man, if he is robbed, he shows anger. And if a poor man, he is robbed, he shows acceptance, because there is nobody for him to do. He can't take any action against this. He can't express his opposition. He can't keep doing worries or making worries or being worried, because every day he is earning, and that is what is the only way he can live life. So he accepts if he loses things. But now Hari Singh is thinking about Anil's reaction. What could be his reaction? And he says, Anil's face when he discovered the theft would show only a touch of sadness. Anil would not be angry, he would not be worried, he would not be frightened, but he would show sadness. And this sadness would be not because he lost his money, but because he lost the trust. So this is a very important thing here. When sincere people lose trust, they become more worried. Even when they lose their money, they won't become worried. But when they see that trust is lost, they are worried. Now, that is why Hari Singh is also worried. how to go to Anil and how to tell him that he has robbed him, he has stolen his money. So on the next page, page number 11, I found myself in the Maidan. Now he is sitting in the Maidan, sitting on a bench on the Maidan. The night was chilly, cold, very cold. It was early November. A light drizzle means shower. Light drizzle is adding to his discomfort. Now there is cold, the weather is cold, and it is raining slightly. That is making him uncomfortable, discomfort. Afterwards it started raining very heavily. The slight rain started to rain heavily. My shirt and pajama stuck to my skin. Hari Singh's shirt and pajama stuck to his skin. And a cold wind blew the rain across his face. It's this condition in which Hari Singh is now. He went back to Bazaar and sat down in the center of the clock tower. You know, there is a big clock in some cities and it is fixed on a tower. Under such a tower now Hari Singh is sitting. The clock showed midnight, means about or 12 o'clock of night is the time. It is midnight, and he felt the notes. He saw if the notes are secure. The notes were secure, but they were damp from the rain. Damp means wet, watery. They were damp because of the rain. Hari Singh is thinking, this is Anil's money. In the morning, he would probably have given him 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema. But now the whole 600 rupees, the amount is with Hari Singh. He could not go to Anil. He could not go to Anil and cook his meals. He could not do his shopping and learn to write whole sentences if he did not go to Anil. But Hari Singh wanted to learn whole sentences, and that is why he decided he decides to go to Anil. Meanwhile, he had forgotten about all these things in the excitement of theft. When he stole money from Anil, he was excited. The excitement of stealing money had overpowered him. Now whole sentences could one day bring him more money, maybe a few hundred rupees, more than a few hundred rupees. So now that is the thing Hari Singh has got in his mind. And though he has stolen money from Anil, he wants to go to him for learning. It was a simple matter to steal, but sometimes it is as simple as to be caught. Means stealing things is simple, but you can be caught easily, red-handed. And sometimes, but to be a really big man, a clever and respected man was something else. He knew, Hari Singh knew that stealing will not make him big man, educated man, respected man. And he wanted to become respected, and for that he knew that learning was the only way, and that is why he wanted to go back to Anil. He says, I should go back to Anil. I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. He hurried back to the room feeling very nervous. He is little nervous, frightened and sad. Because now he doesn't know how Anil would react, what would be his reaction. And he wanted to return the money undetected, without getting found. So he went, opened the door quietly stood in the doorway. It was cloudy moonlight. Anil was still asleep. He was sleeping. He crept to the head of the bed, to the top of the bed, and he took the notes in his hand. And when he was wanting to slip his hand under the mattress, he felt Anil's breath on his hand. Because of this, now he remained still for a minute because he thought that Anil could get up or awake. Then he found that his hand is going to the edge, means end of the mattress, and thus he slipped his hand under the mattress with the notes. Successfully he kept the notes under the mattress without waking Anil. Next morning, he himself, means Hari Singh himself, woke up late. By that time, Anil had woken up before him and he had made tea. He came to Hari Singh and stretched out his hand with a 50 rupee note between his fingers. Now, when taking the note from Anil, Hari Singh's heart sank. Heart sank means he felt depressed. You know the reason? Because he had stolen the same money from Anil, and the same man is giving him 50 rupees. That made him depressed. And there was one more reason. He thought that he had been discovered. He thought that Anil came to know that Hari Singh had stolen money. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Anil, while giving the 50 rupee note, told that yesterday he had made some money. Now you will be paid regularly. Anil says to Hari Singh, I will do you regular payment. My spirits rose. Spirits rose is a phrase. Means he became very hopeful. And then he took the note, and the note was still wet, still damp from the last night's rain. And when he is thinking about this, Anil suddenly says, today we will start writing sentences. He knew, means maybe Anil knew that Hari Singh had stolen his money. But Anil did not show this neither in his eyes nor on his lips. Means he did not say or did not have that feeling in his eyes. Hari Singh smiled at Anil in his most appealing smile, and Anil also smiled back without any effort. It means that Anil was at last happy that Hari Singh had reformed, he had improved, he was going to change, he was going to leave his job of robbing, and he was going to change into a better person. Here the story ends. But after this, we are going to learn a part of the same lessons exercise, WH question. So before we start, I tell you once again that read the lesson, try to understand the story, okay? Try to understand the hard words, write them down, particularly write the phrases and try to use these phrases in your own sentences, because in your examination there is a question in the language study, you know, it is for 1 mark. You have to use the given phrase in your own sentence. So I hope that you will read this whole story, solve the exercise. But now we are going to solve one part of this exercise, that is framing WH question. On page number 13 you can find that framing WH question. Okay, so we will learn framing WH question. In your English workshop, at the end of the lesson, they have given from 1 onwards some things, okay? Some grammar is given there. One of them we will learn today, framing WH question. You might have already learned this, but let us remember that when you are making a WH question, you should use a formula. This is the formula you can use: WH word and auxiliary, then subject, and then verb form and question mark. When you want to make a question or frame a question, WH question, you have to use this formula. WH word comes in the beginning of such a question. When they give you a sentence, the underlined part is supposed to be the answer. You have to suppose that this is the answer, and for that answer, first you will find out a WH word. Look at this. To the room. From this, you can get one WH word, that is where. Where to the room. For this answer, this is the proper or appropriate WH word. You have got the WH word. Now you need auxiliary. Is there auxiliary with helping verb in this sentence? No. So from this you can find out the auxiliary. Once while learning question tag, okay, you might have understood that when there is no auxiliary, you can find out the auxiliary from the verb form. This verb form is past tense, second form of the verb. In that case, you can take did. So did, because past tense is given. Where did? Now this is first person pronoun. You have to change it into second person. That is you. Where did you hurry? I am using first form, keep in mind, because when did is used, always use the first form, not the second form. Never use second form, only the first form. Where did you hurry back? Leave the answer part and give question mark. So this is the WH question. Where did you hurry back? Now look at the second sentence. This is the answer part. A study of men's faces. For this answer, you can get this word what? What? A study of men's faces. So what is the WH word for us? Now you have to find out auxiliary. See if there is auxiliary in the sentence. Yes. You can see auxiliary is there. Had. Now you know you have to take the subject. The subject actually is I, but it is first person. So you have to change it into second person. What had you? And the verb form, VF means verb form, is made. So this is the WH question. Moving to the next sentence, you can get the third sentence. Third sentence. Let me take it. Third sentence. What is that? I drew them out without a sound. I drew them out without a sound. So without a sound is the answer now. Without a sound. For this answer, you can get this word how without a sound. So how is our WH word now? You have to find out auxiliary. Again you can see that there is no auxiliary, but the verb form is there, which is V2. If V2 comes, you have to take did. How did? The subject is first person. Change it into second person. How did you? Now the first form of verb will come. I do know the reason. When did comes, always take the first form of the verb, never second form. How did you draw them out? Question mark. This is the answer. WH question. Let's move to the next sentence. Fourth one. The poor man showed acceptance. The poor man showed acceptance. Showed acceptance. The answer is the poor man. The underlined part is the poor man. For this, you know now, you can take who. Who? The poor man. Now, after this is WH word. You don't need to take auxiliary. You know why? Because when who comes as the first word or the beginning word of a question, always put verb if it is there, or auxiliary if it is there as it is. Now after who, you take just showed. Who showed acceptance is the WH question. Means when who comes in the beginning of a question, WH question, don't make auxiliary, or don't just try to make auxiliary like this here. Just keep if auxiliary is there, or just keep if verb is there as it is. And now the last sentence of this is, I made tea in the morning. I made tea in the morning. And the answer is in the morning. Answer is in the morning. Now you can tell me very easily what is the WH word for this answer. Yes, right. When is the WH word? When? In the morning. Now you know that this is our WH word. Now we want auxiliary. Is there auxiliary here? No, but you know that V2 is there. Past tense verb is there. So take did, subject is first person, change it into second person. You, when did you, and take first form of the verb. Again let me tell you why first form, because when did comes, always take the first form of the given verb and the remaining word is tea. When did you make tea is the WH question. Along with this, from the same workshop, you are going to learn compound words. That is, you can learn compound words, and then in the part 3 or number 3, you have got some other grammar to learn. It is simple one, so you can learn, you can understand it very easily. Let me write the third one, and A from it is collocation. Okay, what is a collocation? Let me tell you. Collocation means words which come together and make meaning. These words, those which come together, make meaning. Suppose if you take one word, a different word, and keep with the other, the meaning may not be the same. For example, okay, you can say cold weather. Can you say tiny weather? Tiny weather. So with weather, cold is okay. Means cold collocates with weather. Means there is collocation between them, cold and weather. But tiny weather is wrong. Means tiny does not collocate with weather. So this is not collocation. Suppose if I say hot weather, this is okay. This makes collocation. So this is collocation. In your exercise, they want you to find from the text the collocation for the following. Okay. So first they have given dog. Try to find out collocation. Okay. Then man. Okay. Then ticket. So you can find collocations with the word which are suitable in meaning with these words. Okay. Now let me go to B. B is compound words. Is compound words. Where two or more words are written as one word, then it is called compound words. For example, okay, armloads, okay, or hanging rope. These are called compound words. One more example we can take. Kitchenware, even football. These are all compound words. Okay, try to learn them. And here in this, they want you to make the compound words. Now oil is given, so you can write oil rich. Okay, and then they have given moon. So you can write moonlight, or you can write moonbeam. So these are compound words. Try to complete the exercise on your own. Okay, and after that, if you have got any doubts, you can send them on the group. Okay, the doubts will be solved. Thank you for listening to the lecture. See you in the next video.